Hey Dr. Weber, why do some women have painful periods? First, let's review a little bit about your period. So here you have your uterus, you have your fallopian tubes, and you have your ovaries. Now within your uterus you have a layer of tissue here in pink called your uterine lining, or your endometrium. So before your period you will have a phase called your premenstrual phase. During this period, your endometrium will build up. And this is a very nutritious lining. So when you have a fertilized egg, the egg will come through and it will implant, where it will grow and eat and become a baby. Now, if you do not have a fertilized egg, what happens is the endometrium says, "Ah, heck, we didn't get a baby." So what it does is it just sloughs out, and that's what your period is. So why do some women have painful periods? Well, let's ask the other Dr. Weber.
Some women have painful periods for relatively simple reasons, the big one being inflammation. Your period is actually a very inflammatory process, and what that means is that there's a lot of blood in the area. It's helping to clean out the excess material that's built up in your uterus, like Dr. Emily was talking about. But another reason why some women have even more painful periods is because of visceral pain. Visceral pain has to do with your organs. It's internal organ pain. And guys don't usually understand this because they don't have periods. They don't have uteruses contracting, causing that pain. So your uterus contracts while you're on your period because it's helping to push out that excess material so that it can get ready for like a whole new cycle. And another thing about visceral pain is that it's one of the worst pains possible, simply because there is no position that you can take to alleviate that pain. If you bash your knee or something, you'll find a position to stay in until the pain stops. That's not the case for visceral pain. For visceral pain, movement can help, but there's not that set position that will stop the pain. Another reason that you might be having a painful period is because of subluxation. Subluxation is when your bones are out of alignment, causing irritation on a nerve. When you're on your period, we specifically look at the low back vertebra, make sure they're all in alignment so that the nerves that control your sexual organs and functions can function properly. Because if this nerve is being squished, it's not going to communicate properly with your ovary, with your uterus, or any of your muscles. Another part that we look at is just the pelvis. Again, for the same reasons, because there are nerves here, we want to make sure that they're able to communicate and control the organs and muscles properly. So we definitely look at the pelvis, but another part that we look at is the pubic bone, because this is like a big bowl. If this is out, this is probably out. And this is a very sensitive area, so Dr. Emily and I always adjust this area with extra care to make sure it's gentle and not a painful experience.
So let's get those subluxations taken care of. I'll show you part of the adjustment. Another thing we do here at Barefoot Chiropractic and Wellness is address your musculature, specifically with your periods, your pelvic floor musculature. When you do the proper exercises, you can decrease your pain and increase your function. Let's take a look at one of those exercises. Okay, so now we're going to have the patient lift her pelvis and bring it down a little bit so that her knees, her pelvis, and her shoulders are all in a straight line.
So what can you do at home? Well, we want you to stay away from certain foods that increase inflammation because they are no good. So don't drink any milk. Don't eat any cheese. Stay away from dairy. Dairy is incredibly inflammatory. When you feel your period coming, stop eating all dairy. So, if you've never been adjusted before and you're having painful periods, now's the time to check it out. Or if you're already coming in and you have painful periods but you haven't mentioned it, please tell us about it because we're both women, we're both doctors, we can help you. So get your spine checked and we'll see you soon.